So de novo synthesis, so which is also called as fatty acid synthesis. Okay, so here we are synthesizing a fatty acid that is called palmitate. So palmitate is a 16 carbon fatty acid. So this 16 carbon fatty acid will be synthesized from acetyl coenzyme A. So here acetyl coenzyme A is acting as a precursor. It is a starting material, right? So here acetyl coenzyme A will be converting into finally a palmitate. So this is an anabolic pathway, right? So here we are synthesizing. Anabolic means synthesizing pathway, right? So for formation of fatty acid, we required acetyl coenzyme A, which will be obtained from different sources. So when we take excess carbohydrates or amino acids, so which will be releasing acetyl coenzyme A, so which are finally involving in de novo synthesis and forming fatty acids. Either what is the use of fatty acids? So fatty acids are very useful for the cell growth. Okay, so why? Because so cell is having a membrane, that is phospholipid membrane is present. In the phospholipid membrane, fatty acid is the main component. So that's why it will be useful for cell growth and cell differentiation. And one more significance is there for fatty acid is that it is acting as a homeostatic component. Okay, so what is homeostasis? So homeostasis means maintaining the internal physical or chemical conditions which are exist in our cell, right? So that means in our body, so the temperature will be maintained constant. That is very much important factor, right? So how it is, how this temperature will be maintained constant? So by the fatty acids, okay? And blood fluids also will be maintained. The body fluids and blood fluids also very much important. So for maintaining the body fluids, so we require fatty acids. So that's why fatty acid is having a significance that it is acting as a homeostasis component in our body, right? Okay, so when will we produce these fatty acids? So when we are taking excess amount of carbohydrates and amino acids, okay, so these carbohydrates and amino acids get metabolized and forming acetyl coenzyme A, right? So this acetyl coenzyme A, so finally, so converting into a fatty acid. Okay, so acetyl coenzyme A is a precursor and fatty acid is a final product which is formed in the de novo synthesis. So this fatty acid is finally stored in the form of triacyl glycerols. So this is important point. So actually glucose is stored in the form of glycogen. In the same way, fatty acid is stored in the form of triglycerols, right? Okay, so where is this de novo synthesis will be occurred? So it will be occurred in cytosol of liver cells. Write down liver, kidney, adipose tissue, and lactating glands. Okay, so why? Because so these cells are consisting of a cytosomal fractions, so which is very much important for de novo synthesis. Why? Because in the cytosomal fraction, many enzymes are present. So here we have seven important enzymes. All seven important enzymes are involved for formation of the fatty acid, and all these enzymes are present in the cytosomal fraction of the cell, right? So that means the de novo synthesis is occurred in cytosol, right? So if you see the pathway here, this pathway will be divided into two stages. In the first stage, so this is the first stage where acetyl coenzyme A gets converted into malonyl coenzyme A. Okay, the first stage is called the conversion of acetyl coenzyme A into malonyl coenzyme A. So for conversion of acetyl coenzyme A to malonyl coenzyme A, we required carbon dioxide. So why? Because if you see closely the structure of acetyl coenzyme A, So here COO molecule is added, right? So by the carboxylation process. So that's why this is called a carboxylation reaction. Here acetyl coenzyme A carboxylated and forming a malonyl coenzyme A. For carboxylation of this reaction, it requires a biotin, which is a prosthetic group. So it is very essential to fix this carbon dioxide with acetyl coenzyme A. And also ATP molecule is involved. So that means acetyl coenzyme A utilizing one ATP molecule and gets converted into malonyl coenzyme A, right? So this conversion is very much important for de novo synthesis. Why? Because we need acetyl coenzyme A molecules as well as we need malonyl coenzyme A molecules, right? So this is the first stage of de novo synthesis, that is conversion of acetyl coenzyme A to malonyl coenzyme A, right? In the second stage, write down, second stage is called as reactions of fatty acid synthase complex. So fatty acid synthase complex. As we can see here, this is a fatty acid synthase, so which is available in the form of complex. So this is very much important. And this, in the presence of this fatty acid synthase complex, so all reactions are catalyzed, are performed, and finally forming a fatty acid, that is a palmitate. Okay. So we should know about what is fatty acid synthase, how it is working, what is the alignment, what are the components present in it. So we should see about it. So this is very much important, right? So this is fatty acid synthase complex. It is a complex. Why? Because many enzymes are present in the fatty acid complex, right? So seven enzymes are there in the fatty acid complex, right? So this fatty acid synthase complex is also called as multifunctional enzyme. Multifunctional enzyme, right? So why? Because it consists of many enzymes, and these enzymes are very essential for the formation of fatty acids. So that's why this is called multifunctional enzyme, or FAS complex, fatty acid synthase complex, right? So this complex is available in the form of dimer, right? So here two monomer molecules are attached. So this is one monomer molecule and this is the second monomer molecule. So two monomer molecules are attached in a anti-parallel orientation. Anti-parallel orientation, that is a reverse orientation. For example, ACP is acting as a head here in this monomer, and cysteine is acting as a tail, right? So this is the molecule, this is a subunit of one monomer, right? This is the second monomer, so in which ACP is aligned here, okay? And here the cysteine is aligned here. So that means these two monomers are anti-parallelly oriented, okay? So these two monomers are anti-parallelly oriented, so which consist of many enzymes, okay? And this complex is divided by two divisions. So one is subunit division. In the subunit division, which is a horizontal division, so which divides two monomers, this is one monomer and this is second monomer. But we have another division that is called functional division. This is a vertical division or functional division. So here this side, the left hand side, is having a functional enzymes, so which will be useful for formation of one fatty acid, and this is the right side enzymes are useful for formation of second fatty acid, okay? So horizontal line will be subunit division and vertical line will be functional division, right? So this fatty acid synthase is available in the form of dimer, so which consists of seven key enzymes. So seven enzymes. So these enzymes are very essential for formation of fatty acid. And these enzymes at the tail position, we have a cysteine. So cysteine is one of the amino acid. At the head position, we have ACP. ACP means acyl carrier protein. Write down acyl carrier protein. So, which is bonded with 4-phosphopentothioene. Right. So, this is the head position. So, ACP is present at head position, and cysteine is present at tail position. Right. So, finally, from this fatty acid synthase complex, two fatty acid molecules gets synthesized simultaneously, right? So this is very much important complex for formation of fatty acids. So we can see here in this pathway, this is a fatty acid synthase complex which consists of head portion and the tail portion. So tail portion is called cysteine position and ACP is a head position, right? Okay, acetyl coenzyme is a precursor, a starting material, right? In the first reaction, so this is the first enzyme is involved in this reaction, that is acetyl coenzyme ACP transacylase. So what is happening here? Here acetyl group will be transferred to ACP. So ACP is a head position. So here acetyl group is transferred to ACP. So that's why this enzyme is called as acetyl coenzyme ACP transacylase, right? So why? Because acyl group is there in the acetyl coenzyme A, will be transferred to the head position of fatty acid synthase, that is ACP, right? So that's why here a product is formed, so that is called acetyl SACP. So why? Because acetyl SACP, here acetyl group is added at ACP position, okay? So that's why this is called acetyl SACP, right? But here, so this acetyl group will be shifting to the tail position. Okay. So this is called transfer reaction here. Transferred. So acetyl group will be transferred from the ACP, that is head position, to tail position, that is cysteine position. So that's why we can see here. So in this compound, so that is acetyl S enzyme. So here at S position, at cysteine position, so acetyl group is present. So why? Because it has been already transferred, but there is no enzyme is involved. So it is the change, the internal change will be occurred. The shifting of this functional group will be from the head position to the tail position. So it is automatically occurred. So there is no enzyme is catalyzing this reaction, right? Okay. So now malonyl coenzyme A is added. Malonyl coenzyme A. So in the first stage, we have prepared malonyl coenzyme A. So that malonyl coenzyme A is added here. And this malonyl coenzyme A is also consist of acetyl group along with carboxylic group, right? So now this compound, the acetyl group and carboxylic group will be attached at this head position again, right? So in the presence of malonyl coenzyme A ACP transacylase, right? So what is happening here? So here this entire carbon chain, which consists of keto group and carboxylic group, so will be shifting, will be moving to ACP, that is head of the uh, fatty acid synthase complex, right? So that's why the enzyme involved here is malonyl coenzyme A ACP transacylase, right? Okay. So now here we can see two two carbon chains. So this is one carbon chain which is consist of only acetyl group. Here we have one more carbon chain, so which is obtained from the malonyl coenzyme A, right? But here, so carboxylic group, so that will be removed in the form of carbon dioxide. So this is a decarboxylation reaction. This is the third reaction, is called decarboxylation reaction, where carbon dioxide will be removed. Okay. So in the presence of beta keto acyl ACP synthase. Okay. So when carbon dioxide is removed from this molecule, okay, and here we are forming beta keto acyl ACP. Okay, so what is happening here actually? So here two functions are performed. The first function is performed by beta ketoacyl ACP trans synthase, is removal of COO molecule by the form of carbon dioxide. This is the first function. And the second function is acetyl group, which is there at tail position, will be shifting to head position. See, here we can see this acetyl group will be shifted from the tail position to the head position, right? And carbon dioxide is removed, okay, from this molecule, right? So now we are forming a carbon chain which consists of four carbons and two keto groups, right? So this compound is called to be beta keto acyl ACP. Beta keto acyl ACP. So why? Because so this is the alpha carbon, this is the beta carbon. At beta carbon here, a ketone functional group is there. So that's why this is beta keto acyl ACP, right? Now, so this compound is consisting of two keto groups. Okay. In the next step, so one keto group will be reduced. So here NADPH is involved. So NADPH will be releasing two hydrogens, so which will be accepted by beta keto acyl ACP, and this keto group will be getting reduced. So how do you know that it is reduced? Here the double bond will be broken and one hydrogen will be added beside the oxygen group, and one hydrogen is added to this carbon, that is beta carbon, right? So that's why the keto group is converting into aldehyde group. Keto group is reduced to form aldehyde group. Okay, so for reducing this all keto group, so it requires two hydrogens. So two hydrogens are provided by NADPH. So where is this NADPH is coming from? So it is coming from HMP shunt. So as we have already discussed, NADPH is useful for biosynthesis of fatty acids, right? So this NADPH will be forming from HMP shunt. So it is not releasing any ATP molecules. It is not involving in the ETC, that is electron transport chain. It is not providing any ATP molecules. But this NADPH is very essential for biosynthesis of fatty acids. So here this NADPH will be releasing two hydrogens, and these two hydrogens will be accepted by beta keto acyl group and converting into beta hydroxy acyl ACP, right? So now, so one keto group is converting into hydroxy group. So this is the beta carbon. So that's why this is called beta hydroxy acyl ACP, right? So that means in the presence of beta keto acyl ACP reductase, here two keto compound gets converting into a mono keto compound, right? So why? Because the second keto compound is reduced to form hydroxyl group, right? So here now this beta hydroxy acyl ACP is dehydrated. So that means water molecule will be removed from this compound and converting into trans enoyl ACP. Okay, so where this water molecule gets released? So here water molecule will be released from beta carbon. So this hydroxy group will be removed from beta carbon and hydrogen will be removed from the alpha carbon, right? So that's why here we can get double bond between alpha carbon and beta carbon after dehydration reaction. So this is the dehydration reaction. Here we can get the double bond between alpha carbon and beta carbon. So one hydroxy group is removed from the beta carbon, one hydrogen is removed from the alpha carbon. So this is dehydration reaction. So this reaction is catalyzed by beta hydroxy acyl ACP dehydratase, right? Now in the next reaction, so again reduction will be taken place. So why? Because so we are preparing a saturated fatty acid. So saturated means all carbons must be having the single bond. So if any double bond is there, that is called unsaturated fatty acid. But we are preparing a saturated fatty acid. Palmitate is a saturated fatty acid. So that's why the double bond has to be saturated. So that double bond must be converting into single bond by the enoyl ACP reductase. So that means here double bond will be broken and it is converting into single bond. So how it happens? So in the presence of NADPH. So here NADPH is providing two hydrogens, and these two hydrogens will be added here at alpha carbon and beta carbon, and the double bond will be broken and it is converting into a single bond, right? And this is the second reduction reaction. So second NADPH molecule is involved here. The first NADPH molecule is involved in this reaction for formation of beta hydroxy acyl ACP. The second NADPH is forming acyl ACP. So this reaction, right? And these two NADPH will be produced from, so it will be produced from HMP shunt pathway, right? So now we got a linear chain unsaturated fatty acid, right? But here fatty acid that we are preparing is palmitate, which is having 16 carbon. But here we have only 4 carbons. So that means we need to convert 4 carbon chain into 16 carbon. So that's why, so what is happening here? So here 16 carbon chain must be formed here. So that's why, so many reactions, the say reaction 2 to reaction 6 will be repeated, right? So before that, so here the 4 carbon chain is formed at the head position of the FAS complex, that is ACP. So it will be moving to the tail position, that is cysteine position. Okay. So this is called transferring reaction. So here transfer of carbon chain, the 4 carbon chain will be transferred to the cysteine position. So that's why this is transfer of carbon chain from ACP to cysteine. There is no reaction, there is no enzyme is involved in this reaction, right? Simply the 4 carbon chain will be transferred from the head position to the tail position, that is ACP to cysteine, right? So now we are forming a fatty acid, so which consists of 4 carbons only, but we need to prepare a palmitate which is 16 carbon compound, right? So that's why the reactions 2 to 6, reaction 2 to 6, so will be repeated. So same enzymes will be involved, so will be repeated and forming a long chain linear fatty acid, right? So here we are forming a long chain linear fatty acid, but what is the problem? Here the fatty acid will be conjugated, which will be formed a complex with the FAS complex. So it is not a free fatty acid, right? So now here, due to presence of palmitoyl thioesterase, here water molecule is added, so that water molecule will be hydrolyzing this complex, and here the bond will be broken, and finally, so this palmitoyl group will be converting into a palmitate and releasing FAS complex. So now the purpose of FAS complex is fulfilled, so it is useful for formation of fatty acid. Now again this FAS complex will be taking one more acetyl coenzyme A, so which will be forming from carbohydrates, excess carbohydrates and excess amino acids get metabolized and releasing acetyl coenzyme A, and it will be complex with the fatty acid synthase, and again the process will be repeated, right? So that means the formation of palmitate is not a fixed reaction. So that means after formation of palmitate, again this FAX complex will be involved the same reactions and forming one more palmitate. The same reaction will be repeated several times continuously. So that's why this is called de novo synthesis. Okay. So de novo synthesis means this is a continuous chain reaction. So it is not it is there is no final reaction. So after formation of palmitate, again this FAS complex will be again taking ATPs, oh sorry, acetyl coenzymes and forming again palmitates, that is palmitic acids. So this is a continuous chain reaction. So by this process, so finally we are forming two fatty acids from each FAS complex simultaneously, right? So what is the final product in de novo synthesis? Palmitate, palmitic acid or palmitate, which is a final product. So what is the precursor of de novo synthesis? Acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A, right? And how many NADPH are involved for the formation of one palmitate? So here, so here 14 NADPH will be involved, right? 14 NADPH are involved for formation of palmitate. So why? Because here in this pathway, so we can see two NADPH. One is from here and one is from here. So two NADPH are involved, but these two NADPH are involved for formation of 4 carbon chain fatty acid. This is not 16 carbon chain fatty acid, right? Only 4 carbon chain fatty acid. So here 2 NADPH is involved, right? So this will be repeated many times. So finally, so here 14 NADPH is involved for formation of each palmitic acid, right? And one more important thing is acetyl coenzyme A gets converted into malonyl coenzyme A in the initial stage, for first stage. So where one ATP molecule is utilized, right? So that's why here, so total for formation of one palmitic acid, so we need 7 ATPs. We need 7 ATPs. So 7 ATPs will be involved for formation of each palmitic acid molecule, right? So this is about de novo synthesis, so which is very much important synthesis. So here we can finally form fatty acid. So this is an anabolic pathway. So here we are synthesizing the palmitic acid, right? So 7 enzymes are involved in this process. So all enzymes are present in the form of complex with fatty acid synthase, so which consists of ACP and cysteine. ACP is a head position and cysteine is a tail position, right? So all enzymes are involved in this de novo process and finally forming a saturated fatty acid that is called palmitic acid, right? So this is about de novo synthesis, right? ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయమ్మా? Any doubts?
Sir,
చెప్పండమ్మా.
for formation of one palmitate, how many acetyl coenzymes are used, sir?
8. So why? Because palmitic acid is a 16 carbon fatty acid which consists of 16 carbon, right? So here 8 acetyl coenzymes are required to form a palmitic acid. Why? Because acetyl coenzyme A is consist of 2 carbons. So కాబట్టి 2 multiplied with 8 gives 16 carbon, right? So that's why 8 acetyl coenzyme A are required for formation of each palmitic acid, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Any more doubts? Any more doubts?